name's Antoine Eloa, 23 years old. I've been working like late night shifts to pay my rent and things like that. Grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. My father was born in Haiti. Haiti's the least developed country, I believe, in the Western Hemisphere. And if I could do anything in my life that would be able to create some sustainable development and bring a brighter future that my dad was never able to experience, I wanted to be a part of that.
Antoine Eloa is Associate Executive Director of Leadership Initiatives, a non-governmental organization based here in Washington, D.C. The group empowers young people in developing countries to go out into their communities and make a difference. In the past, Leadership Initiatives has empowered youth to fight against AIDS, illiteracy, and unemployment in countries like Namibia and the Philippines. Now, driven by values he inherited from his immigrant grandfather, Antoine is clearing his calendar because for the next 3 months, he will guide Leadership Initiatives on its second mission to Nigeria.
The main idea of what happens while we're there is
the Leadership Initiative team gets to the university.
we go and we have interviews with students. The team deliberates and they choose a class of maybe 30. We instruct these students for 2 weeks about how these students can exhibit qualities of transparent, honest, and productive leadership in their communities. Then we go from the classroom setting out into the field. Awesome. It's a marathon. You have to realize that you're here for only a certain amount of time, and you're just going to have to push yourself.
Nigeria is fertile ground for a Leadership Initiatives project. It's Africa's most populous country, but over half its people live in poverty, and corruption is endemic. But Antoine doesn't face these challenges alone.
My name is Jesse Jones. I'm the project manager. We are in Frankfurt's airport in Germany. We are headed to Abuja in Nigeria. After that, we head to Maiduguri.
It takes Antoine and his teammate Jesse 3 days to get to their final destination, a city called Maiduguri in the northeastern corner of Nigeria. These are the fields of Maiduguri. The fields feed a harsh and dusty city, once a flourishing trade post between the lush heartlands of Nigeria and all points north across the vast Sahara. Today, Maiduguri is home to 3 million of Nigeria's poorest people. Little industry exists here, and most people survive on less than $1 a day.
It's real dirty. They need a lot of work. People hawking everything, everywhere. There's no infrastructure, no street lights, no traffic signs. There's no addresses, so there's really no point in having street names. The whole city smells like petrol, and when you're driving around, it burns your eyes.
The best hope for this city comes from the 30,000 students at this university. It's here that Antoine and Jesse have come to plant the seeds of empowerment. But change in Nigeria doesn't come easily.
Things started to get kind of rough immediately. We sat in his office for half an hour, 45 minutes. We found out the dean was gone, and he's the only guy that knew we were coming. So we stayed here, which wasn't too bad because it turns out at night we have a nice little club behind us. It was one of the students' birthdays.
First of all, it's just great to see the students. It just reminded me, no matter how difficult things get, that's the reason why we're here. We're here for the students. It's gorgeous. The night skies here in the deserts of Maiduguri are just beautiful. Probably the most comforting experience that nature can offer here.
Antoine and Jesse are happy for company and a place to rest after their long journey. But rest is short. Today, they must arrange the logistics of their stay with Leadership Initiatives' 2 Nigerian partners, a local bank and the university.
We're heading to City Express Bank in Maiduguri.
Last year, they supported us with a driver, and they provided funds for fuel, and they provided us with a phone. Those are 3 crucial support systems that we need. There's nobody in the banks. They have no currency in their banks. They have just a branch manager and a bunch of people sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And I find out one thing that I was not made aware of is that City Express Bank is in dire straits. And unfortunately, they just told us that they're going to be withdrawing all the support that they provided last year. It's really disappointing and discouraging and frustrating.
But it's only the beginning of the trouble.
The university's trying to tell us that there's no living accommodations for us.
I have to see the dean. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
And I'm confident tomorrow when we go to the university, we'll get stuff figured out. Come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow.
I think this is probably the 8th day. The 8th day we've been trying to just settle accommodations.
There is no project if the dean says no to everything today, and then we're in some serious trouble. It's simple as that. I mean, we'll probably be looking for ways to get back to the States earlier than expected.
Oh yeah, it's game time. Well, we just sat with the Dean of Student Affairs. He seems to be helpless in the situation. Incompetency comes to mind.
It's so depressing that these students want to go out and do stuff, but the people in power that are supposed to be in charge, they're so busy, protecting the interests of their bosses and everything that nothing's going to get done.
Why don't we go to the computer lab now and let me write email to Marshall, tell him what's up. I gotta write to my family and stuff like that, let them know what's going on, and tell them that there's a possibility we might be getting home.
This is an obstacle, and this is what we're here to fight, and this is what our students want to fight. So we can't turn around and go back. We'll find a way to do it.
Antoine and Jesse focus on the future, planning ahead while their partners in Washington raise funds to keep the mission going. Finally, persistence pays off.
5-1, 5-2, 5.
And money arrives.
I think that's 30 right there.
Sweet. Marshall and Stephanie are convinced that we need this project. I agree with him that we should stick it out, but at the same time, I'm thinking about how much time we have.
Despite the failure of the bank and the university to deliver on their promises, Antoine and Jesse begin the long process of identifying the students to whom they will hand over the keys of empowerment.
What do you define as a successful life?
There can be no success without you succeeding. I think I'm succeeding, and in that sense, I'm successful. There is no success except when you are succeeded.
I don't know.
What are some of the problems that you see?
Ridiculous. I mean, 52% of the population in Nigeria are females. We can't find like 3 good ones.
I don't think so, no.
Kind of dud.
He's not gonna cut it.
It would be settling.
Those are some of the most boring days, but if the students are interesting, it's fun.
Men, materials, natural resources. We have the human power. Whatever you talk of in the world, it is in Nigeria. The natural endowment that we have in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized.
I think this is a solid student.
He had solid answers.
A good understanding of the economic situation. He wanted to work to fix it.
I know there's strong females out there. I just don't know how we get them into our program.
Anything it takes. Anything it takes, I'll do it.
That last student, best student I've had so far. We're done. I'm hungry. Let's go.
I've eaten this before. I don't know what it's called. Moi moi? Yeah, moi moi.
At the end of the week, Antoine and Jesse have interviewed 150 students. 30 will join the program, and one of them is Mohammed Lawan Khalifa.
My name is Mohammed Lawan Khalifa. I'm 27 years old. I'm being the eldest son in the house. I'm leading the family because I lost both of my parents. This is my house. It's located in Lungunkuri. Lungunkuri is part of Hausari, and Hausari is part of Maiduguri. And Maiduguri is part of Borno State. Borno State is part of Nigeria, and Nigeria is part of the world. I read law actually, but my area of specialization is Islamic law. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Another superb student chosen by Antoine and Jesse is Joshua Ngwakawa.
My name is Joshua Ngwakawa. I work with the university. I'm one of the instructors there. Yeah, I was teaching the undergraduates. It was just an introductory class. I'm a college student here at the master's level. I'm doing my MBA. When I lost my dad, it was pretty rough. But somehow we managed, pulled along with my siblings and my mom. And so at an early age, I had to start struggling to walk.
After the marathon from Washington, D.C. to Nigeria, it's here that Antoine and Jesse pass the torch of empowerment to their students.
Today, I want today to be more of an introductory class.
One thing that is extremely important as a leader is that everybody has to be able to communicate to their target audience. If you can't captivate your target audience, they're not going to care about the problem that you care about. I've got Malcolm X, I've got Gandhi.
No, I'm not satisfied. To the hospital.
Antoine shows clips from great films like Malcolm X and Gandhi to illustrate how empowered individuals can determine their own destiny, and how with hard work, the students themselves can challenge the status quo. The films have a direct impact on the students.
What were some of those things that stuck out to you in segments that were shown?
The only thing that saved the situation was that he was humble. A leader shouldn't have a mind that being able to be humble, apologizing, it's a sign of weakness. No, it's a sign of strength.
But one thing that amazed me much is the fact that he doesn't ask his people to do what he cannot do. He always have to practice before them so that they follow him. I think that is a very good quality of a very good leader. He lead by example.
In the classroom setting, you're able to make an intimate connection with these students and really flesh out their ideas about leadership. It's one of the most important experiences in the whole program. You have debate, you have ideas and theories of leadership evolving in the classroom. When they move on from these projects, we hope that they'll take them into whatever professional career that they pursue. We look forward to seeing you on Monday, and we'll have some more exciting stuff to go over. So everyone, you're dismissed, and I want you to enjoy your Friday and end your weekend. Okay?
In the final stage of the class, Antoine and Jesse require students to put their empowerment to use. Khalifa and Joshua create grassroots projects. Through their hard work, they bring opportunity out into the city.
I can remember I was the first person that was asked to identify one problem with my community. Then I identified literacy. Because there was a time I experienced one thing. 20, 30 people, they will gather in one place, expecting only one person to come and write a letter to them or read a letter for them. I find it very difficult. So I think that, I personally think that it's very important for them to also know how to read and write.
50% of Nigerians are Islamic. They learn Arabic in school, but not English. And in Nigeria, English is the language of law and the language of business. Khalifa's project opens doors of opportunity by giving people in this community the tool of self-expression. Joshua identifies a different problem.
If you go to schools, to public schools especially, you hardly see even a single computer. Private schools, some of them might have up to 5, 10, for about 800 students. I had the idea of equally helping people to be computer literate. There are so many young ones that do not know how to use computer. And the earlier they are introduced to it, the better for them too. Because they will be able to make researches, explore the internet, and get the information they want. The world is a small place. It's a global village. If young ones from here could equally be helped to become computer literate now, one day you could see these young ones rising up and becoming big gates of the world. And it makes the world a better place for everybody.
By giving advice and raising funds, Antoine and Jesse help the students make their projects viable.
The other one?
Well, now we've got a lot of the projects already set, so what we're working on is raising the necessary funds for the projects.
After Intercity, there is other
We
one.
have Citizens Bank.
Citizen Bank, that's right.
I'm just getting the advice of the different banks that are located in the north that may favor the idea that we start the projects here.
Is one who's managing the bank now?
Yes.
He's my friend.
Yes.
Sally.
Yeah.
Yo, we go to him.
We go to him. We go to him.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do. We're gonna hit them all. We'll hit them all.
Keep on think.
We'll hit them all. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll take it one step at a time. We'll hit them all.
Antoine's girlfriend called him this morning, and he's gonna take the day easy because he found out his grandfather died last night. Pretty rough.
My grandfather had stage 4 lung cancer and he passed away. And he was an extremely hard worker. I mean, he's the reason why my family even got to the States in the first place. He was a welder, came over, they needed welders in the 70s, and so he came over here and he smoked way too much, drank probably too much, and it's horrible to be here and not be with my family, but I have solace in the fact that, I find solace in my work. This is my way of being able to honor my grandfather and not be there. These projects get off the ground. If I'm able to instigate and motivate students to create sustainable change in their community, then I've done everything that my grandfather would have wanted me to do. So that's something that drives me every day. I never forget it, every day. To know that I'm not just working for myself, I'm not just working for these students, and I'm not just working for this community. I'm working to make sure that the legacy that my grandfather left for us, is maintained. That's how I look at. That's how I try to look at every day, and then it makes it okay that I'm not there. It makes it okay that I'm not there. So that's what I'll do. Simple as that.
So now, the journey is over. Antoine and Jesse have brought to Nigeria what Antoine's grandfather brought to America: hope and empowerment.
My name is Iduda Ujamirin. I'll be 16 next week, Monday.
So what do you want to learn about computers?
Absolutely everything, I want to know how to manipulate it. I want to know what it's used for in other countries, how we can use it for economic development here in Africa, in Nigeria especially, and maybe just for the fun of it.
Present tense, past tense, past participle, written noun, written pronoun.
You know how to read and write.
The English language is something that most of people are using it. From when I started school, I get the knowledge. It really helped me in my tailoring work. My name is Johanna Pinka, and what I learned is really helped me in my business, in my everything.
Do they have Beyonce on the television in there?
Which Beyonce?
Beyonce, man. I was paying attention to that. That's what I was paying attention to.
Your fiance?
No, Beyonce. Beyonce. If Beyonce was my fiance, I wouldn't be here, believe me.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah.
You want to live in
No,
the States and enjoy your life.
Okay. Okay. Now you come.
Something.
If she's your fiance, you could have been a millionaire.
So you won't care what the Marjories?
Yeah, Marjorie?
Yeah.
Not only, I'd be able to take the Marjories in as my own kids and put them through school if she was my fiance.